wait, so you go that way, I go this way?
Yeah.
And but on my screen, it looks like I'm just completely, we're looking away from each other.
Shoot.
But if I go this way, does this look like I'm facing
No,
away?
that's you pointing off screen.
So then
Is that me pointing at you?
We both need to go this way?
Wait, let's like high five. High five.
It's like when I was making my Chicago Zoom background, when you upload the background to Zoom, it flips it.
Yeah.
So for me, it looks like it's backwards, but for everybody else, it looks normal. So I uploaded it and saw myself. I was like, damn it, it's backwards. I need to go fix it. And I fixed it and then like went into a sales call, and Amir sent me a screenshot of my little pane. And he was like, by the way, your logo is backwards. I was like,
that's crazy. The same thing happened to me my first week.
Introduce yourself and what you do at Reconstruct. My name is Thomas Dixon, and at Reconstruct, I'm currently a customer success intern. So I help a lot managing customers, doing alignments, and helping the CS team increase efficiency and just all around increase productivity. And then the other 50% of my time is spent on my summer internship project, which is looking at infrastructure legislation and determining best business angles that Reconstruct can pursue.
Cool. I'm Anna Dennison. I go to the University of Kansas currently, and I've been an intern for about a year and a half. I work for the marketing and the customer success team, so I get to do a lot of really cool stuff. I work on a lot of like videos for customers. I do a lot of graphic design, and I get to help with like the branding and social media.
I don't know what to say.
Sorry, I just saw everything flip. Oh, here. Okay.
I want to use that at Reconstruct. Okay, Anna, you go first.
Cool. So I've been at Reconstruct for about a year and a half, and I've loved every second of it. It's been super fun. Usually over the summers, I'm full-time, and then during the school year, I go part-time. They're very helpful. Like, they're very flexible with, like, the school schedule we have at KU. So, you know, if there's, like, a week where I have, like, exams or something, we're able to, like, move stuff around. And they do care about, like, your schoolwork the most. So, yeah.
I've been at Reconstruct for 3 months now. I started at the beginning of the summer, and I've been full-time, and then I'm similar to Anna. I'm going to be part-time during the school year, which I'm super excited for, especially because Reconstruct has an office down at the University of Illinois where I go. So during the school year, I'll be able to come down, or I'll be on campus at the office and get to meet some of my coworkers and get to interact with the company on a face-to-face basis, which I'm really excited for.
I'm so jealous of that. I was in California for it last time, and like talking to Wasim and all of them in person was so much fun. I really miss it so bad. I want to go to Chicago.
I'm really jealous that you got to go to California because I didn't know that was an option. Sorry, you can go first.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I go to the University of Kansas, and I'm an architecture student. I am absolutely like in love with architecture. It's kind of an issue. Not actually. I really do love it. It makes life feel a little bit more complete. And that's what kind of drew me to Reconstruct was they're construction tech companies. So like some of my like architecture knowledge can like apply there. And I can also have some like that graphic design skill that you gain while being an architecture student to like help brand the company. So I think overall, like having that type of like degree and knowledge has been super helpful in this role.
I'm currently at the University of Illinois down in Urbana-Champaign, and I'm currently studying political science, which is different than what Reconstruct does as a construction company. But one thing that I love about my internship is that I feel as if I've learned so much information just between being surrounded by people who are in computer science and engineering and architecture and fields that are very different from what I'm studying on a day-to-day basis when I'm on campus. But then I also love that I get to investigate a political science lens of things, such as going through the infrastructure bill and looking at business opportunities for Reconstruct is super interesting. Combining construction and technology with my major, which is political science.
Yeah, and I think Thomas brings up a good point. Like, I think it's really important to expose yourself to like different fields because you never realize how much they can apply to like what you're working on and how much they can like round you out as a person and a student. And I think it's very important to have those different interactions. And like Reconstruct has so many different, really cool people with so many like interesting backgrounds and interests. And it's been one of the best experiences ever, like coming here and getting to know like all of that, which I would have never known if I had just gone with like, you know, some like architecture company. Like I wouldn't have that well-rounded view of like the construction world. So, yeah.
And it's especially interesting interacting with people who almost think in a completely different manner than I do on a day-to-day basis. So there will be days when I'm in a meeting with another customer success team member, and they will figure out a solution to a problem that I hadn't even considered. And there will be other instances where I will think of an issue or something that was going on from a different angle, and it enables just a lot of flexibility and a lot of collaboration and a lot of learning, because I don't think I've learned as much. Like I can't get over the fact how much I've learned this summer just interacting with so many different people who all with so many different backgrounds and so many different ways of thinking about things. You can go first.
I'd say the learning curve at the start is pretty hard because like construction tech, you know, like I'm not a tech major. I'm an architect student, but you don't really get into the construction details till you're like the end of the second year, starting at your third year. So I think the learning curve is pretty big, but you do learn a lot in the process. And like, especially with Reconstruct, like there's a lot of people to support you in that process, and they're very understanding. They help you get to the point where you like know what's going on. And I think once you like understand like what's going on, it's super interesting like to see like how the built world is created and like all the different components that go into it. So for me, like working in this side is just like, it's like being behind stage at like a theater. It's really cool to see like, you know, how Reconstruct makes everything like happen in construction projects. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that being a or having a major that is so substantially different than what Reconstruct as a company does was definitely a little bit of a challenge when I first started as an intern. I think that there was a lot of stuff that I had to learn just by interacting with other team members. But I also think that everybody was very supportive of me in understanding that, you know, when they mentioned a BIM model, I didn't know what that was. And when they mentioned P6 scheduling, I didn't know what that was. And so there was definitely a bit of a learning curve, but I was super eager to learn everything that I could possibly learn. And now that I'm, you know, 3 months into it, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of the construction industry, and I know that I'm learning things every single day. And I think that keeping that open mindset of wanting to learn as much as I possibly can over the course of my internship and as much as I possibly can about the industry that Reconstruct operates in has been of great importance to me.
I also think I'd give yourself a little bit more credit. I think like, you know, when I first came in, I was really worried that like, I hate like the learning curve of like, I don't know anything and I'm new in a company and like, I can't stand it. So I always like tried to like really zone in those first few weeks and like make sure I learn it as fast as possible. But the thing was like, that I found really interesting about Reconstruct was like, they found like value in me throughout the whole thing. Like the whole time I was through that learning process and still getting the lingo down and like how it all worked, I still felt like I was contributing to the company and like actually making a difference. So like I think they're very good at realizing like what you're talented at, where your skills are, and applying that while also getting you integrated with the whole workflow of Reconstruct. So
yeah, exactly. I think that there's definitely more than one instance where I might not have been the most efficient or the best individual to tap on to do an alignment, but you know, there are instances where you're going to be asked to do something that you might not be comfortable with, but I think that it definitely helped me learn how to learn a new skill. And also I think that there are other instances where, you know, other team members on the CS team would select me for something specifically because it was in my skill set of things that I'm good at. And so that's definitely a little bit of a give and take, and something that I loved about the internship. Tips for applying internships at Reconstruct.
I have. Okay, cool. So I'd say when you're applying for Reconstruct, like I feel like the whole application process sometimes gets a little like too complicated in our heads. Like don't try to present yourself as something you're not. I think show all of your skills, show all your talents, show your interests, show your passion, and like if you're the right person for Reconstruct, you'll get it, you know, like. And like the interview process, it's like it's not super stressful. You just get to like talk to the different team members, give them your application, talk about it, talk about why you're interested. And I honestly like if you're just like be yourself, do your best, and see what happens.
Yeah, I'll echo a lot of what Anna just said, where I think that there are aspects to applying to an internship that I hadn't really considered. And, you know, when applying to a construction internship as a political science major, I didn't really know what exactly it was I was signing myself up for. And it was definitely something that I was interested in, but I didn't know what the details would entail. But I think the whole interview process where I discovered exactly what I could bring to Reconstruct and kind of, you know, made a business proposal and presented it during my interviews, definitely helped frame what it was that I would be doing during my internship. And I also think that the interview process itself, it's very, very civilized and everybody's very friendly. And I think that the number one thing is as long as you show what you're really passionate in, and as long as you show that you're for someone like myself willing to learn just about anything, then I think that it makes both the interview process and then eventually getting the internship very, very gratifying.
That's really funny because actually that you brought a business proposal because like I didn't know what I needed and like I knew what I had and I have a portfolio which is like you know that's all like like if you're an architecture you understand but like you use portfolios to apply for everything like that's top dog. So I gave them my portfolio to apply and it actually ended up being like one of the reasons I got hired. When I talked to him the year after, he's like, yeah, like we loved your portfolio and we realized like all the graphic design you can contribute. So essentially moral of the story, just like show them your skills, show them what you like need to show them so that they understand what you contribute, you know?
Yeah, I think definitely like be passionate, but also, you know, think of an angle of, you know, what can I bring to the company that is valuable and interesting, and, you know, you can eventually go and base a summer internship project off of. And that's what I did. And I think it's been super gratifying and reassuring to know that something that I worked hard on and I came up with right in the beginning, I've kind of carried through to the end.
Oh, got this.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. So I moved to California for my first summer working for Reconstruct, and one of our like coworkers, Zach, he lives there, and we got like a ton of like our workers together, including another intern, and we biked around Palo Alto, and that was so much fun. And we also went to like this farmers market and got a ton of fruit, and it was like such a good like environment to be in, where it's like all these people who are like really smart and really like, you know, like they're like really turned on, like they're very like sharp, and it was just like all of us just like hanging out, having fun, and not like in a work setting. So I actually like got to know them, and it was just a really cool experience, like getting to be like in the Reconstruct like work environment without the work, you know.
I think one of my favorite parts of my internship thus far, and I haven't been here for a year and a half, so I'm not sure I can compete with Anna, but in the 3 months that I've been here, there was an instance where I came up with an idea for, you know, a business avenue for Reconstruct, or a play. And I presented it to Amir, and who was my boss, and we kind of had a brainstorming session in one of our one-on-ones in the first month of my internship, and we developed this plan of attacking a certain industry with Reconstruct and kind of a sales pitch. And he asked me to bring it into the sales meeting within the next hour, and I quickly built a little presentation and presented the sales team, and it was super gratifying because to see something that, you know, was an idea that I had, that I developed with other team members, and then we worked together to bring it to the words that keep getting used, so that they have legs, and so they eventually turn into real projects that create a life of their own and go on and be something else. And that was super gratifying and super exhilarating, because I kept wanting to create new projects and research new avenues that Reconstruct can pursue. Superpower. I know mine off the bat. It's easy. The superpower that I would have, if I could have one, would be telekinesis. I think that just like being able to move anything with your mind would be really cool and super valuable on a construction site. So I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
I've always this one's kind of lame. There's no real practicality behind it other than the fact that it's just like I've wanted to ever since I was a kid, but I just want to fly. I just want to have wings and I want to fly. I know it doesn't make sense with like bugs would get in your eyes, like it's too like there are so many things that are just not like correct about it logically, but like like conceptually, it's such a beautiful thought. So I will forever and always say fly.
I didn't even think about bugs getting in your eyes. Like
no, like I've really thought about it. Like I've really like run it through my head, and every time I think about like, okay, well, if I could fly, like like having wings, someone that'd be heavy. Like there's just like a lot of things. I'm like, if you're going like that fast to like get anywhere like real.
If you're thinking about it that analytically, you're gonna have your eyes are gonna be watering, and there's gonna be
exactly like you're not gonna see like.
You're always gonna look like you just got off like the ski hill or like
exactly. Hair's already given us. It's gonna be worse. No, and the worst part is too, you can't like telekinesis. You can be like, oh, but I'm not telekinetic, and like no government official will go after you. But like if you straight up have wings, every scientist is gonna poke at you. Every scientist, and the
military will come after you. I mean, the military is gonna come after you too. Like we have superpowers, they're gonna want to know what's going on. Like
yeah, that is true.
Anything you want to add?
Yes. I always have things to add. So I think one of my favorite things about working here that I think is just so special and I just haven't seen anywhere else, even talking like school, like anything, is just like the people and like the environment they've created this company. Like I feel so like supported by every single person here. And I've I would like I wouldn't trade being around the people I'm around every day for work for like anything else, like they really do care about your career. They give like the best advice. They're super smart. They have like a ton of really interesting hobbies. They're great to talk to. They're so sweet. And like, I just like, that is such a rare environment. And I cannot like express how important that has been to me this whole time. And I feel like without that, like this whole experience really wouldn't have been as valuable as it is. So I highly recommend looking into Reconstruct. All the people here are really cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna piggyback off of Anna on that one. I think that the one-on-ones that I've had with other people at this company have been just so enlightening, and I've met some of the smartest people I've ever talked to in my life before. And I think that one great aspect is that, yes, everyone's super interested in the business and everyone is super motivated to get the work done and progress as a company together. But then there are always people who are also looking out for, like giving career advice. As someone who's about to graduate college, there has been more than one instance of really, really, really good and sound advice being imparted onto me from other people at the company. And it's been really, really, really awesome to be able to meet with one-on-ones. I think that's another important part, is that everybody, no matter what department they're in, no matter what they're doing, will always be willing to schedule a one-on-one with you and just chat about what they do on a day-to-day basis, or what their position looks like, or what their career story looks like. And it's all super valuable, and I've found it super enlightening with even helping me determine what it is I want to do after college. And so I think that the accessibility to everybody in the company has been super, super, super amazing and profound. Profound, sir. It's been profound.